Every year, millions of marine animals die from something we use every day: plastic. From turtles choking on bags to whales with stomachs full of debris, the ocean is turning into a death trap. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more eye-opening content, and stick around to see how plastic is silently destroying ocean life. 1. Animals mistake plastic for food. Turtles often confuse floating plastic bags with jellyfish and try to swallow them whole. Seabirds dive for shiny plastic thinking it's fish, feeding it to chicks that later starve. Whales have been found with hundreds of plastic items inside their massive stomachs. Once swallowed, plastic blocks intestines, preventing animals from eating or digesting food. The trapped plastic builds up, leaving animals feeling full but slowly starving to death. Over 1 million marine animals die each year due to plastic ingestion alone. Plastic looks and smells like food after spending time in the ocean and collecting algae. 2. Entanglement causes slow, painful deaths. Plastic ropes, six-pack rings, and discarded fishing lines trap animals by fins, beaks, or tails. Ghost nets float for years, capturing fish, dolphins, turtles, and even seabirds unknowingly. Once trapped, animals struggle to break free and often die from exhaustion or suffocation. Entanglement can sever limbs, cause infections, and deform growing bodies of young animals. Sea lions with plastic rings around their necks suffer deep wounds that worsen over time. Dolphins entangled in nets may drown, unable to swim to the surface to breathe properly. Entangled creatures are left helpless, unable to hunt, escape predators, or even move freely. 3. Coral reefs are being suffocated. Plastic debris settles on coral reefs, blocking sunlight and interfering with growth and feeding. Bags, wrappers, and nets abrade coral surfaces, making them vulnerable to harmful infections. Plastics promote bacterial growth that triggers coral diseases and white syndrome outbreaks. When reefs die, entire marine ecosystems collapse, affecting thousands of species at once. Healthy coral needs light, clean water, and space, all compromised by plastic accumulation. Nets and lines tangle coral branches, break off limbs, and smother living polyps underneath. Plastic pollution has increased coral death rates by over 80% in some reef regions. 4. Microplastics are silent threats. Microplastics particles smaller than 5 millimeters have invaded every marine food chain. They come from broken down bottles, synthetic clothing fibers, and cosmetic microbeads. Plankton and small fish mistake them for food, ingesting them and absorbing toxic chemicals. Microplastics have been found in mussels, oysters, and anchovies, staples of marine diets. Predators consume contaminated prey, passing plastic particles and toxins up the chain. These fragments can lodge in tissue, organs, and even the brains of some marine animals. Microplastics absorb and transport dangerous chemicals like pesticides and heavy metals. 5. The young and small are most at risk. Juvenile fish, baby turtles, and hatchlings are more vulnerable to plastic dangers in the ocean. Smaller animals are more likely to choke on small wrappers, pellets, or microplastic bits. Hatchlings often swim into trash zones right after birth, encountering plastic as their first threat. Young animals lack experience to distinguish between real food and floating synthetic waste. Plastic reduces their ability to escape predators or find suitable shelter in reef environments. Once ingested, plastic can stunt growth, cause deformities, or even kill before adulthood. Species with low reproductive rates suffer most when young die early due to plastic hazards. 6. Plastic transports invasive species. Floating plastic waste often carries marine organisms like barnacles, algae, or small crustaceans. As debris drifts across oceans, these species hitch rides to new environments unintentionally. When invasive organisms reach foreign shores, they outcompete local marine life for resources. Coral reefs, kelp forests, and mangroves are particularly vulnerable to invasive species. The disruption can be irreversible. Native populations decline or even collapse entirely. Plastic becomes a global shipping lane for species that were once confined to isolated regions. This accelerates biodiversity loss and weakens ocean ecosystems' resilience to climate change. 7. Deep sea life is not safe anymore. Plastic has been found in the deepest parts of the ocean, including the Mariana Trench. Explorers discovered plastic bags and wrappers more than 7 miles beneath the surface. Bottom feeders like amphipods and deep-sea fish have ingested synthetic fibers and particles. There is no natural degradation process for plastic in these dark, cold environments. The plastic that reaches the seafloor may stay buried for thousands of years, never decaying. Many species in deep-sea zones are slow-growing and sensitive to environmental changes. Microplastics interfere with feeding behaviors of deep-sea organisms that depend on sediment. Even creatures discovered in recent years are already found carrying man-made synthetic waste. 8. Entire food chains are breaking down. Plastic starts with plankton and ends with top predators, but the food chain is failing in between. When smaller fish die or grow slower due to plastic, larger predators suffer from lack of prey. Toxins and chemicals attached to plastic build up as they move through multiple trophic levels. Sharks, tuna, and orcas accumulate the highest concentrations of plastic-related toxins. Weakened food chains result in smaller fish populations, slower growth, and reproductive decline. This chain reaction endangers both ecological balance and commercial fishing industries. Fewer fish mean more hungry seals, struggling seabirds, and depleted predator populations. Top predators, already threatened by climate change, now face an invisible plastic famine. 9. The death toll keeps rising. Over 100,000 marine mammals and 1 million seabirds die every year due to plastic pollution. These are only the visible deaths. Most victims sink, go uncounted, or disappear in the deep sea. Animals die from ingestion, entanglement, starvation, suffocation, or internal injury. For every visible dead turtle or whale, hundreds of unseen creatures perish beneath the waves. Species already endangered now face plastic as a new existential threat to their survival. Animals once thriving now wash ashore full of plastic, confused, weak, or dying slowly. Researchers find plastic in animals' stomachs even in remote, isolated islands far from humans. The death toll increases with plastic production, which shows no sign of slowing down globally. 10. Urgent action is the only hope. To protect marine life, plastic use must be dramatically reduced worldwide immediately. Governments must enforce strict bans on single-use plastics and support recycling infrastructure. Fishing industries must recover ghost gear and transition to biodegradable alternatives. Coastal nations must clean rivers and establish waste management near marine environments. Global treaties should penalize plastic dumping and regulate international plastic trade. Consumers can refuse plastic, reuse items, and support companies that offer plastic-free products. Cleanup groups and innovators need funding to scale up ocean plastic removal technologies. Public awareness campaigns must reach schools, communities, and industries alike. The images of suffering sea life aren't rare. They're the reality of our plastic addiction. Marine animals are paying the price for our convenience. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more stories that matter, and share it to spread awareness. Together, we can choose better and help protect the life that calls our oceans home.